I'm attempting to create an app to solve every one of the world's addictions, day 4. I wanted to focus my workout today on more joints and mobility, so I started off the day with 100 toe raises. Well, that was for shins. For knees, I did 20 knee extensions. And lastly, for wrists, I did 10 wrist curls. But now onto the actual important part, which is learning how to code. So I started off first with booleans, which are basically true or false statements, and I was kind of just testing out how they worked, how the wording was, right? If I were to make one thing true, one thing false, when would it be false, when would it be true in certain equations, as well as how it would work mathematically. So if a boolean is 5 is greater than 3, should return true. It's very interesting too. Another thing I was working on was variables, but the way they're defined. So normally variables are defined by what they are. So if they're a number, you'll define it as a number. Or if it's a string of words, you define it as a string. But what's interesting is you can actually just define it as variable. And then even more interesting on top of that is you can define it as dynamic, which means that it can be anything. So it can be words, it can be numbers, it can be true or false. And the last thing I worked on here was final and constant, which basically is just something that is final throughout the entire code. It doesn't change and it stays exactly the same. And before I end, I just want to end off with good news that the withdrawal symptoms that I was experiencing yesterday have really toned down a lot. I'm not getting that same constant nagging feeling, but I know the worst is to come, and I hope to be there with you guys when it does happen, and I'll see you tomorrow.